Okay, so it's the day after. Um, Literally every second round series is locked today, as of today. Well, as of yesterday, but by the time I'm recording this, no games have happened. Oh, well, all of them except the Minnesota series, which will be locked up either tonight or 2 days from now. So yeah. But yeah, everyone else has made it very clear who's moving on and who's needs to have some serious inflection. Yeah. So basically what I'm gonna talk to you guys about is the second round in general. I'm not gonna talk to you about what I went wrong in the first round for a lot of these teams because I think it's pretty obvious for a lot of these teams. Like for example, Utah, they've been doing the same thing for years. It's not Rudy's fault. It's Donovan Mitchell underperformed in the series, but I'm not blaming Mitchell because he had really no help offensively and he's fighting through an injury. So I respect what he does. And that series could have easily went to 7 games if Bogdanovich doesn't mitch, Bogdanovich, if Bogdanovich doesn't miss that open three. That could, because that would have won them the game. I'm pretty sure, right? I could be wrong, but yeah, that would have won them the game, and that series could have been going on for 7. Still think they lose, but yeah. And I'm feeling so hungry right now. Anyway, um, so let's talk about the second round matches that are actually locked, and then we're gonna talk about Memphis v Golden State last. Spoilers: I think Memphis is gonna win this series. It's pretty obvious why I think that, but we'll get to that later. We're gonna circle back. So we're gonna start with the East, and then we're gonna go around town to the West. East, West. Okay. I have no idea if this is East or West, but for the sake of my mental health, and like yours over there, the viewer, these are both East and West. All right. All right. So, the second round consists of in the East is going to be Philly and Miami, and then it's going to be Boston and Milwaukee. All right. The West matchups are going to be they're going to be Dallas and Phoenix, and they're going to be. Well, I already told you, so you should know right now, right? It's 2 minutes into the recording. Come on, pay attention. Anyway, Mr. Soup, what do you think we should do, and who do you think I should protect? Right? I mean, your bracket was pretty okay, Mr. Soup, except for that one team. But like, Mr. Soup, who do you think's got this right now? Well, honestly, I really should have checked Harden's numbers before this, but we're gonna talk about because we're about to talk about Miami series. But I really don't need to check Harden's numbers right now. They should have put away. They should have put away the Toronto team in 5 games. The fact that it took them 6 games was a little bit concerning because if they went to 7 games, Philly just wouldn't have any momentum there for me. At least I just even with that game winning three, I think that game winning three was huge. But like, if once that three happens, right, you that Toronto team came out swinging the very next game, and I just didn't think it should have taken them this long. Honestly, I thought the game that the Toronto Raptors were supposed to win, was their first game at home, and Philly should have responded. But anyway, Doc Rivers is about to be completely outcoached again. I mean, not a first, not a last time. Doc Rivers is a highly overrated coach, but let's talk about why I think he'll be outcoached. Because the nigga that's on the other side is Eric Spoelstra, and his defense is in the playoffs right now. In like everything I can think of, number, statistics, all of that, it's probably only second to the Boston Celtics. And personnel wise, I really think this is a good defensive team, and it's a great team to annoy both of the superstars or one of the superstars in Philly, because I really only think there's one at this point. I think Embiid is a clear one, and for there to be another superstar on this roster, I really have to question. I'd have to be like, okay, this other guy's maybe not as good as Embiid or not as good as he is right now, but like, are they like comparable? I don't think Harden's comparable right now. Harden is clearly the 2 in Philly right now. That's not something crazy to say. It's not bad that Harden's clearly the two, but like it's a, I think it's the first time in his career that he's been clearly the two. Because last year with KD, it was like you could argue Harden was the best player. You could argue on some nights that Kyrie's just better than Harden, but like, yeah. Anyway, um, so yeah, Philly is going to have a little bit of issues, I think, with their offense. I don't really understand how they're supposed to do this. So let me just mentally check what I think they could be able to do against Philly. I feel like you can drop off Tobias Harris, not too far, but like you can like play him enough. You don't have to like run Harris off the line. If Harris is on that night, then sure you run him off the line. But like that's a coaching adjustment. I think Spoelstra is just gonna make better adjustments. I think Spoelstra has Bam, which is probably one of the best guys that you can throw at an Embiid. I think PJ Tucker is another great guy that you can throw at Embiid, which is crazy. Um, that's obnoxious. PJ Tucker has played with Harden. I'm not saying he's gonna fucking lock up Harden, but you can throw him at Harden. He's a very versatile defender. I don't actually think you even throw him at Embiid because you can throw him at Harden. This is actually valuable there. Uh, you can put Jimmy on him. Um, that's obnoxious. That's annoying. If Lowry's healthy, I think Lowry can harass Tyrese Maxey. I don't think Tyrese Maxey is going to get the same calls he's going to get against. He'd get, not saying that Maxey's getting calls or whatever, but like I don't think he's going to get good calls against Lowry. Lowry's a great defensive player too, in his own right. Especially on this team, that's obnoxious. That's their defense should be able to pester them. I'm not gonna say it's gonna inhibit and slow them down completely. I'm not gonna say it's gonna grind them to a halt. That'd be a lie. But I think that matters enough. Like if like what do you want me to say? That team is going to be obnoxious for the Sixers to deal with, and when I made my first bracket, which was like a couple weeks ago, I really didn't put too much thought into how Harden would just do it. I was like, Harden will be on by then, and it'll just work out. But like Harden hasn't like set the NBA basketball sphere on fire with his like first actual like really good playoff game. So I'm like perplexed. And I know it's probably because Embiid is just better, and Embiid is clearly the one, and Harden is clearly the two. But like Harden, I I just haven't seen that yet. Kyrie had his game, so like I was expecting, okay, Kyrie got a game. Like he just had his game. He just had one of those games where he just plays really amazing. I'm expecting one of those from Harden, and I just didn't hear about it or see about it. And I gotta look better for it, but like I just didn't see it. So I think Miami should be able to win that game in a competent six game series in a competent six. Boston Milwaukee. I don't know who needs to hear this. They're not doing the same thing they did to Kyrie and KD with Giannis. That's just not gonna happen. Even if someone didn't have that impression, I just wanted to say it. It's not happening. Giannis is, first of all, he can be less of a perimeter oriented player than those two. Giannis gonna put Embiid. Giannis is going to make uh your boy Robert off his straight fresh off an injury and an old ass Horford in foul trouble. And if they lock him up, bro, I will take this video and whoever watches it will get $5 because I pretty much know all of my subscribers right now anyway, and except like maybe like 5 of them really in person. So like, yeah, I said 5, like I have like a crazy amount. Anyway, um, yeah. So like, I don't. They're not doing that with Kate. They're not doing that with Giannis. If Chris Middleton's healthy, and if Chris Middleton's Chris Middleton, and by Chris Middleton I mean like slightly like, okay, so the average Chris Middleton game is either one of two things. It's either a bad game, it's either a bad game, a stinker, or a mid game from Chris Mid, or you're getting games where he just turns into fucking prime Michael Jordan with the ability to shoot the three, and you're just sitting there like, yeah. Their best offensive tool with Chris Middleton and Giannis is that screen and roll, but they're not. If Chris Middleton's not healthy, then I don't know. I still have Milwaukee winning this series. I I just don't believe in them. I don't believe in Boston. to beat the defending champions. I just don't. I don't think they can beat the best player in the world, which is Giannis. And even if Giannis loses a series, he's just like, what? Like, okay, yeah, like, no, Giannis is still just gonna be Giannis right now. Like, Giannis gonna still be Giannis against them. They have better 3-point. They have better and more consistent 3-point shooting. That matters to me. The team can shoot better. They can switch better. They can play defense better. I honestly do believe, and I'm talking about paint defense. The perimeter oriented defense of the Boston Celtics is great. It's better than. It's even better than the fucking Bucks. But like, if Giannis, unless Giannis is gonna be on Tatum constantly out of the paint and not being a help defender, which is probably what Budenholzer is gonna do until he needs to make adjustments. I feel like in late game scenarios he'll probably have Giannis on them, but I also that also remains to be seen. I feel like Giannis at center was very effective last year when they didn't really have Lopez in that run, and when they really couldn't play Lopez in certain series. The perimeter defense, they still have Drew, so I'm not saying the perimeter defense is god awful, but it's gonna be interesting. I want to see what they want to. I need to see what they're gonna do. I'm wondering if he's gonna run the Bobby Portis and he's gonna run Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and Giannis on the floor at the same time, and how Boston's gonna deal with that. Are they gonna have to respond by going big like they normally are? Or are they gonna respond by going small? How is Derek White impacting this series? Like, is Grant Williams gonna play the same defense that he played last series? This has the possibility to be one of the greatest playoff series, like, ever in my lifetime, that I've been able to watch, that I've been able to understand, that I've been able to like comment on. So really this year, but like, just in general. All right. That being said, it's time to talk about a series that it's going to be hell for one team and it's going to be fine for another. Look, D-Book showed me what I needed to see. D-Book is not hesitating. Look, D-Book didn't take as many shots as I would like, but he's playing himself into the games, right? He's not taking himself out of the games. Chris Paul, he shot 14 shots last night. He ain't missed. He took 14 shots on the field. He ain't missed not one. A 33-point bomb from Chris Paul. I don't know what to tell you, bro. New Orleans, you need to praise the guy that built your city in the first place. Christopher Paul, Mr. CP3, had something to say. But on a more serious note, Chris Paul did what he did. It's really good. I'm proud. I'm surprised. It's great. Crowder is someone you throw at Luka. I'm just talking about the defense. I think defense is going to tell you who wins most series. The Mavs defense has been really good, and they have been a really great clutch team. Just defensively and just like regular, because they made a real turnaround. They've been stopping as bad, right? And closing out games and stuff, right? It's great. It's really great. But like, I want you guys to remember, like, look at me. The Suns are apparently, and I don't know if anyone's bothered to tell me this until last night with that infographic, but like, sometimes they're wrong and they're not really good. I don't know what this really means, but apparently the Suns are the clutchest team in the NBA. All right. They're really hard to beat. And Clutch is executing well. Clutch is ending games well. Clutch is being coached well. Clutch is not having Jason Kidd be your coach when Monty Williams is on the other side by his guys. What I'm telling you is it's a Suns pack, and it's a Suns pack. They're going to be smoking the Dallas Mavericks, and they're going to be eating them, bro. They're going to make that horse into a gourmet meal, bro. I don't know what to tell you. They're about to turn that little nigga into a brisket or something. I don't know. It's not happening. The Suns are going to move on from this round. It's Suns in 6 at most, to be honest. Unless Booker's hamstrings just starts acting up. Unless Aiden just underperforms. Now, what do I think about the offense of the Mavs, right? I got to talk about that, right? It's not as good as it's been. It's not as good as it used to be, right? It's not that good. Their defense is really what's been keeping them in these games. if Maxi Kleber can be somewhat consistent from three, I think that forces Ayton to come out of the paint or someone else. However, you think Ayton would be coming out of the paint, but like no, you just throw, I don't know, Mikal Bridges or Cameron Johnson. This team, the Suns have a lot of length and big bodies to like not just allow open threes, you know. They can play defense, they can rotate, they can drop. They can do things that, you know, Utah just didn't or wasn't able to do. So they just made Rudy Gobert look bad. Like I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, the Mavs did do me a favor. They are dismantling Utah as we speak. If they're not, I don't really know what the future may hold for them. Probably a lot more losing than winning. So, yeah. Ooh. So this honestly might help Memphis, but it might hurt them. All right. I think Memphis is gonna win this series. I don't think that a team that can constantly blow 20-point leads can win this series consistently. Especially because they're up 3-2 and they've already shown that they can beat them on the road. They've done it in the regular season. I think. I'm pretty sure every I don't remember actually. I don't want to say anything wrong. Let me just say this. They've done it in the playoffs, and that's what really matters. They've done it. Ja is the best player in the series. It's not close to me. Cat has been inconsistent. The Chris Finch and his team just need to look for Cat more, and that's another problem with a lot of these teams. The Sixers are looking for Embiid, right? I'm not saying Embiid is the same guy. I'm not saying Embiid and Rudy Gobert and fucking Karl-Anthony Towns are on the same tier, but Cat and Carl are around the same tier, right? Yo, you should be looking for Cat or on offense. Cat should be looking to get his shot. Rudy, I get it. Rudy's not the greatest offensive player on the planet. He leaves a lot to be desired, but like when the brother is wide open, putting Brunson in the basket, nigga, give him the ball. That's basically telling me, bro, if I'm a foot taller than somebody, bro, basically just a foot taller than you, nigga, what are we doing? My arms are longer than you. I'm gonna just not even gonna shoot that bitch. You're in the basket. Just let him dunk it. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. But like, yeah, yeah. But goodbye, Utah. It's been fun, I guess. I don't really know. It's Utah. I'm not watching Utah. Oh no. Let me stop. Utah was fun to watch last year, but I didn't really watch Utah this year. I mean, I'm not surprised they're doing the same things they've been doing for the last 3 years, but like they've been just shooting. They just shot better last year. I don't know what to tell you. I should probably talk about the fucking Suns, and I'm what team? Oh, sorry, my bad. Brain freeze. We got to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies and how I think this might help them. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to lose the series, but it's gonna be a great. Probably they're probably gonna lose. All right, I don't want to break any Memphis fans' hearts. But you're probably gonna lose. Ja is not nearly on the talent of Stephen Curry. They have a lot. The Warriors have a lot more people they can throw at Ja than vice versa. I do think that this team will be if the Warriors allow them to get in transition, that's gonna be an issue, right? Taylor Jenkins is a very good coach. I don't think he's quite Steve Kerr yet, and Steve Kerr got a lot of shit for being like, well, I'd be the greatest coach of all time too if I had fucking KD and Curry. No, you wouldn't. You gotta manage egos and stuff. You got fucking Draymond there. Like, shut the fuck up. That job is actually still hard too. It has its own challenging, complex stuff. And when it was working, it was due to the fact that the coaching was also working. But anyway, the Warriors just want to win more. I know there's some like certain intangibles that I don't talk about because like I can't measure them, but the Warriors' entire culture is literally about winning. That's great, and like Memphis's culture is about developing right now. Memphis is still developing. I don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. will if Draymond was giving Jokic a little bit of issues, like he was like, yeah, I'm looking at Jokic's box score numbers, and I'm like, Yeah, but he turned him into a scorer, which Jokic is most effective as a playmaker, which is crazy because his that his scoring, which is also great, it takes secondary. They turned him into a scorer. They like the other guys are not gonna beat us, and they didn't. They couldn't. Like I don't know what they didn't. All right. Draymond can give if Draymond can bother a Jokic like player, an MVP caliber player, someone who might even win it this year. Then I don't really know what you expect me to do with Jaren Jackson Jr. Like he's not doing it for me. He's not gonna do it. Kevin Looney is a great defensive player that you can throw at people. He's not gonna slow anybody down like crazy, but he's gonna bother someone. He's a body you can throw at them. The Warriors have bodies you can throw at them, at their best players. Um, Brandon Clark will be interesting in the series. I will be following him because I think Brandon Clark is one of the most underrated players on the Memphis Grizzlies to begin with. I will be following what they do in that series, and I will be following a lot of these other series. But if you like my content, bro, and you want to hear more of my annoying voice for some reason, like the video. And if you don't, dislike the video if you're a weirdo, because no one will see those anyway. So hey, like the video anyway. At least I can tell if you're in the comments too, you're engaging and you're being active. That like you don't like my shit, bro. That's cool, bro. Anyway, I'm about to go make this thumbnail for this video, and then I'm gonna upload it and like yeah. Anyway, it's been your boy, Mr. Soup in the building. Peace.